friends, it's Sonia with Junk Monkey Paint Company, and welcome back to my daily vlog. You may hear the birds chirping out there. Hanging out in my garage with you guys again today. You see that piece back there? I just finished up that girl. We put her in some Raising the Bar, we black glazed her, and we blinged her out with a little bit of metallic paint and poly all in one. She's drying, so while she's drying, I'm actually getting ready to head out with Matt, and we're gonna do some junking today. I'm excited because we're going to a new place, and you guys know if you've been following my journey here, we've moved to a new place probably like around 2 months ago, and or thereabouts, and so I've got to rediscover and find all these new places to find my good furniture and pieces of junk to flip. And yes, you can find good junk anywhere. I don't care if you move, you will always find good junk. We're gonna do something new here on the vlog. Friends, I get so many questions about flipping furniture, about flipping junk, specifically for profit, to be able to make some coins off of what you're working on. Maybe you too. Do you have questions out there but you just haven't sent them in yet? These are the types of questions I get. Sonia, is flipping furniture really a thing? Like, can you really make money off of doing it? It seems like everybody is doing it. Like, even is there still room to even be able to do it? Where do you find the pieces that you flip? How did I get started? How much money can you make doing it? What do you look for when you're out there junking? Where do I sell? How do I find the customers that I sell to? And how do you just keep it all going overall? Basically, how do you flip junk for profit and be able to do it not just as a hobby, but to be able to do it as a full-time job or a part-time job or just to make extra money on the side? It doesn't matter. You can fill in that part for you. For me, you guys know that I now devote my life to good junk. Right now, when you're tuned into this daily vlog, you've been seeing me go out and thrift and bargain hunt and pick and treasure hunt and go find the pieces that will be my secondhand treasures. And you also watch me take the actual junk from the thrift store shelves, be it candlesticks, cute decor, anything wooden that we can paint, or furniture, right? We flip an awful lot of furniture and just let the paint fly here on this channel. So I'm here to tell you today that flipping furniture for profit is very much a real thing. I've learned that there are people in life that want to paint furniture for themselves and do it themselves, and you just need to give them the tools, the know-how, and they want to go ahead and they want to do it themselves. And then there are people that just want to shop for those beautiful pieces. They have the vision in their mind of how they want all the pieces and how they want their home to look, but they want to go out and just take the pieces, load them in their vehicle, and bring them home. They just want to buy them and not get their hands full of paint. And yes, over a decade of furniture painting, I have learned a lot. I've grown my business from hobby, sitting on the floor of my garage back then, to right now, being able to choose to work in my garage, in my dream home, and do it every single day. To the point that I have now built a business that is worth millions of dollars because of junk, because of painting junk, because of flipping furniture. And I know that painted treasures are very sought after. So I've decided to be your personal furniture coach right here on YouTube. Yep, get ready, tell your friends, tell them to join in to my vlogs here on YouTube, because we're gonna take this vlog called Living the Creative Life to a whole other level. Are you ready? You can watch me flip what I find, and I'll show you how to flip furniture too, and decor and more, so you can make money off of junk. Get ready for lots of good chats for us to be able to hang out and answer your questions. And with that, I would love it as we kick off this whole new lane here, this whole new topic to talk about here in our channel. I would love it if you would ask me your very best flipping junk for profit questions. Will you leave them below for me? Because I want to answer them. What are the biggest burning questions you have about how to make money off of painting furniture and selling it? Now today I told you we're going junking, and one of the questions that I always get is, Sonia, what do you look for when you go out to junk? All right? And on a recent vlog, when I gave you 3 junker tips, I kind of touched on those, right? I told you I love the condition, I love the price. Those were 2 important things that I look for. But before I go any deeper into that whole subject, how about today I tell you the things that I do not look for, like things that go, the things that I shut down on completely when I'm out there junking and I see these things, I glaze over, I walk past, I don't even bother with. What would be my top things? Number 1, I love to avoid pieces that have structural damage and are probably made out of things like pressed wood, like particle board, right? Ever see those pieces where they're swollen because there's water damage on them? Corners are completely smashed. Drawers are broken and wonky. Ain't nobody got time for that. I do not want to paint pieces that do not have what I call good bones. Now, yes, you can find pieces of furniture that are strong and they may not be made out of wood, but that is something that I really, really look for, is good pieces that have good bones. Let's just summarize it up into that. So sometimes you see me on here do what I call the wiggle, right? That's where I take my hand and I do the jiggle onto it and I see if it moves with my hand. Yeah, I don't want to be hauling that stuff home, because why would I go ahead and make things pretty and paint those pieces when at the end of the day my customer is going to be like, I like the color, but you know what? It's probably going to break with me just trying to load it in the back of my car. I love to look for drawers that have what's called, they're just better built because they are built in a way that's called dovetailed. Have you guys ever heard of that before? And basically, it's basically where the corners are built like this with wood, so they're a tighter fit and a snug fit versus just going up against each other. So that is definitely something to look for. Are they dovetailed? That's a great indication that you have a wonderful piece of furniture on your hands, or at least a better built one. Number two, what I don't tend to be drawn towards when I'm flipping junk. I just don't like pieces with fabric. It's different when you're flipping junk pieces that have fabric, like I'm talking about, like, you know, chairs and ottomans and all those sorts of stuff. It's different when it's from your home. You know the condition that chair, that piece of fabric furniture was in, but you can't attest to it when you find it in a thrift store, right? Yes, there are such a thing as bed bugs. Yeah. Now, I have never come across bed bugs, but it's probably because I'm very, very picky with what I do pick up. And I would encourage you to be the same. At the end of the day, I would never want you to be responsible for painting something that was infected with something that now has been purchased by somebody, and as a result, their home got infested. I once heard a terrible story about that, about somebody buying a piece of furniture, painted furniture with fabric on it, and it was infested, and as a result, the furniture painter had to pay for that home to be entirely cleaned because the bed bugs went everywhere throughout their house. Like, nightmare, right? We just want to paint and make things pretty. So for me, I tend to stay away from that world because it does bring some consequences if you're not careful. A lot of times what I'll do is actually completely redo it. So that means I'm going to pop out all the screws, I'm going to pop out the sponge, the fabric, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to replace all those layers and completely do it new. That's totally okay. If you want to do that, that's awesome. But I tend to only paint fabric on pieces that I know for sure the homes they came from, or maybe I'm just flipping out something that I've already had for mine. I recently did a rocking chair for my neighbor. He gave it to me. It was beautiful, and I totally painted the fabric. I loved it. Also on that note, here in Pennsylvania, I'm not sure what it's like in your state, but there are laws that if you're planning to sell fabric items, they have to be sprayed. You actually have to pay to have a license, and with that license, you're educated, and you also have to purchase a special, I think it's called microban, or some special chemical to spray all your fabric treasures that you're planning to resell. I think licensing that whole thing is probably another way to make sure that it is controlled and a bed bug infestation doesn't happen. So make sure that if you are selling, all right, if you're selling fabric treasures, that you know that they have, in Pennsylvania, for example, a yellow tag on them that says that they've been sprayed and who it's been sprayed by, that it is in compliance, and that they can sell it to you. Look for that at the time you're buying it, and then know that you have to be in compliance when you are selling it. Look for the laws in your state. All right, number 3, can we talk about smelly furniture? Oh my goodness gracious, whether it's fabric, like please, just stay away from it though, right? We just talked about that. But wooden furniture, yes, wood is porous, yes, it sucks in, it holds, all kinds of stuff, right? And so for me, I tend to stay away from furniture that just feels like it's just been, it's so sad to the point where it's so dirty and it's completely not even sanitary. We'll talk about in an entire different video, like ways to get really strong smells out of furniture, but I'm talking about smelly furniture to the point where it's so dilapidated. Your time is money in the world of furniture flipping. Are you really gonna be able to get it clean? If your gut says that this is beyond help, or it's sad, maybe somebody else will come along and they will have the time to put into it. But if you're talking about painting furniture for profit, it's important to note that you pick the pieces that are going to be able to keep you painting, because that's how you make money, right, is painting. So if you're going to spend all your time cleaning these pieces, then it's going to take away from the time that you could have doing your money making activities and making furniture beautiful. So for me, I've developed how to paint furniture within an hour. I speed paint. I can do on average 5 pieces to 6 pieces a day. But if I had to spend my entire day cleaning this one piece, that even if I got it for free, or even if I got it at like such a low price, how I'm gonna pay for that later is with my time, with my cleaning supplies, and just, I'm gonna pay for it with my energy. Yes, I've gotten pieces for free that people have given to me that have sat out on porches before I got them. And you know what, guys? They sat, and eventually I gave them away to somebody else who wanted to take on that project, because I realized that it was just not worth my time. Maybe you have seen pieces like that, or maybe you have pieces right now where you're like, I should just pass it on to somebody who really is gonna take the time to really refinish this piece, because it just doesn't make sense for you. I also stay away from sewing machines. Oh my gosh, it's so funny, the whole topic of sewing machines, because I know that there are people who think out there that somehow sewing machines are like the greatest thing ever, and that they should charge you $1 million for one. And it's funny, when we first started going to auctions and I did buy sewing machines, I had one gentleman come up to us and he said, I know who are the newbies here, because, and we were like, how do you know that? And he is like, because you guys bid on a sewing machine. And at that time, we didn't even really know what he meant by that. And by the end, a decade later, you come to understand that sewing machines, again, are a dime a dozen. And the work it takes to get the guts out of a sewing machine, that in itself is a labor of love. It's labor intensive. It's hard on your back, right? So the only way I buy sewing machines is I just want the piece of furniture that the sewing machine sits into. So if I come across a piece where the sewing machine has been taken out, yes, I will take you home. In fact, I found one of those today. I can't wait to paint it later this week, so follow me. I will not pay a lot of money for sewing machines, and I will never take a sewing machine that has the actual unit into it. Hey, if you're a sewing machine collector, that's a whole different world. We're talking about flipping junk for profit. We're talking about painting wooden furniture and making money. So stay in your lane. And by the way, the one that I got today had the sewing machine guts out of it, and I paid $5.99. That's totally something I could afford. I do not buy baby furniture. I just don't, guys. That's a whole liability thing, you know? When you're getting into painting things, you might paint a crib and you are painting it because it could be repurposed in your mind as a planter. But to somebody else, they might be buying it as a crib, and you might be taking something that has been phased out, that has been recalled, but somehow got through the cracks. I would never want to be responsible for selling something that down the road could come back to hurt somebody, or just, you know, it's just a whole other thing. So I personally stay away from it. So yes, when I'm at a thrift store, I don't pick up the high chairs. I'm not looking for cribs. I'm not looking for anything in that world, because I want people to do their research and make sure that they are getting the very best things out there that is good for their family. And sometimes when you find it at a junk store, it might be good to paint, but it might not be good in a kid situation. Do you know what I'm saying? So for me personally, that's always a no-no. And the last thing of the big categories that I always avoid. Next one, electronics. Ugh. I've seen fireplaces, plug-in fireplaces that I've wanted to bring home, but I look at the extension cord and the electronics that's built into that piece is just absolutely outdated. It's a fire hazard. I don't even know if it works. I'm not an electrician. I can't stand behind anything that I sell if I paint a lamp that's a plug-in lamp. So when it comes to electronics, I completely run away from it. I just do not want to deal with anything that might cause a fire in somebody's home. And if I cannot guarantee that the inner workings of an electrical piece is going to be safe for you to use in your home, then I will not. You know, it might be something that I might bring home to myself because I feel comfortable with, but I would never do that and put that out there for sale and feel responsible if somebody's home burnt down because they used a lamp that I got from Goodwill and it turns out that, I don't know, something was wrong with the wiring. So, are you an electrician? Can you Are you certified to be able to wire things? That again is a whole different thing. I've met people along my travels that fix lamps and do that sort of thing. And yes, you can team up with them because maybe you can buy the piece, bring it to them, they can fix the lamp, you can paint a lamp, do the things, right? But as a general rule of thumb, I am not taking anything that has electronics built into it home. Electric fireplaces, all those things. But what I am bringing home is anything that's good quality, strong bones, and it's probably made out of wood, and it's gonna be great when I just go ahead and take it from brownie frowny, and I grab a brush, go banana, slap some paint on it, and instantaneously, usually within an hour, I have a beautiful piece. So those are my best tips for the things that I avoid. If you wanna get in my brain, oh, that's scary. But if you do wanna get in my brain and get an idea of the things to avoid, right? I teach you about the things to gravitate to, but I also wanna teach you about the things to stay away from because they are a waste of your time. They could bring up more problems than good into your life. For me, I just wanna focus on making tired brownie frowny beautiful and move on to my very next piece. So thanks guys for hanging out with me today. I am excited to really get into the world of flipping junk for profit. Are you excited that I'm gonna do a whole series, a whole bunch of teachings on how you too can make money from flipping junk? You guys know that I'm a business coach as well for the last 2 years and that I do have a creative coaching group. It is more for the side of business, of creative business when you're selling your goods, but you want to get better on social media, you want to learn better marketing skill set, and you want to learn, you're at a different point of your business and you really want to learn how to get your stuff in front of other people. I'm going to teach you a little bit of that here, but the focus here in my channel is definitely going to be the basic, the bones, because I get so many questions about the basics, guys. Maybe you're somebody out there who is getting ready to start. And let me just tell you, if you just found this channel or you're listening tonight and there is a part of you that is like, I think I might want to try this. Maybe I want to try one piece. I'm going to walk you through what it takes to flip a piece of junk for profit. I really feel we should do a quiz on here. Maybe this might be my next vlog about, are you really cut out to have your own business if you want to flip furniture? Do you have that fire inside? Do you feel different than somebody else? Like, have you always had this desire to have your own business? Let's do a quiz on my next vlog to see if you are cut out to be an entrepreneur, if you are cut out for this furniture flipping, if you are cut out for this thrifting and junking, so you can make a business out of it too. So glad you guys are following along my creative journey, and I'm happy to help you guys along as well. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you again tomorrow. If you have not already subscribed to my vlog, my gosh, this is a wonderful time to do so. Tell your friends. We're gonna start off from the ground up with how to flip junk for profit. Give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment below. Please, this will help me be able to film and give you my best advice. If all the questions that you've ever wanted to ask me about furniture flipping and making money through what I do with junk, let me know below. I cannot wait to read your questions and I will answer every single one of them. See you tomorrow. Bye.